Hey, hello everybody and welcome to my Thursday live. And we've had a little bit of a change around. This is now the coaching corner, and what I'm doing with the coaching corner is basically kind of looking at the common themes and challenges and obstacles that my clients are facing right now, and then how I can then provide you with the tools and techniques and practical stuff to actually help you too, because what I find is what actually affects one person affects other people too. So if you are here live, do pop me a hey in the comments, say hello, don't sit in the sidelines. If you are here live, say hello, come and say hello. Hey Nikki, lovely to see you. I'm getting comments coming through, so that's always a good sign when it starts doing that. So what I'm going to be doing each week now is what sort of comes up in, some of my client calls or in my Q&A sessions in, or my coaching calls within my programs. We're then going to look at what the common sort of themes are and the challenges. Hey Sam, lovely to see you. What they're facing. And then I'm actually going to talk through it on here so that you can actually get the benefits of those coaching sessions. So the types of challenges that came up in our Q&A sessions this week in the coaching calls, in my coaching programs were, why can't I sell? So, we've got a launches coming up, we've got a one-to-one programs to sell, and how do they get the challenges were, they've got these fantastic products. Why can't they sell them? Making sure that they're in the right headspace for the launch is that they've got. One of the other challenges that were faced with them this week were staying positive and high vibe consistently. We almost, we're in, we've got a positive, fabulous group of ladies in my programs trying to stay positive, and that high vibe consistently can be quite challenging. So that was one of the challenges. And the other one, which is a really big one, and I see it coming up all of the time, was when you need something. So you need the money, you need your clients. So it's not just I've set myself a target and I'd like to achieve that financial target, or I'd like to get that number of clients. This actually becomes a desperation where you're constantly worrying about money, constantly worrying about when the next client's coming in. So we talked about that as well. And, we did some fabulous techniques in the on the calls this week to actually release the need, because there's a really great NLP technique that I use that is absolutely excellent for that. We'll obviously do other things as well, but that was a great one that we did to release that need for the money when it gets to that I desperately want it. Especially when you kind of haven't hit those consistent financial months yet, it can actually start creating more worry. So we looked at that one as well. So that was one of the other challenges that were facing them this week too. But today's session, I'm going to just pick one of them, and I'm going to pick the one about why can't I sell? So this is when, like I said, you've got this fantastic product, and then maybe you're doing a masterclass, for instance, and you're doing this fantastic masterclass, and then you're just at the bit where you're introducing what you're going to be selling, and suddenly, your voice dips off, or you kind of skirt over it a little bit. So, those types of things. And let me know, please do join in the comments if any of this resonates with you, or if if you could let me know, what your blocks are when it comes to selling, for instance. So what I'm going to do is look at, I think with selling, one of the key things that I really, really want to emphasize is, there's obviously a strategy to it, but also there's a lot of energy work that goes along with this. And, you've got your strategy, your left brain system, and then, then you've got your inner work on the, the right side, more of your energetic side, your creative side. So we want to try and bring them all together. So Julie, that was you in your last challenge. Amazing. Yeah, it is. You're sort of talking about something and then suddenly you start dipping off. So what specifically did you find yourself doing, Julie? And what was your challenge? Just let me know what your challenge was, and what did you specifically find yourself doing? Was it skirting around it, or did your voice dip, or you kind of did a fantastic challenge and then you dipped off? So let me know specifically, and we can maybe use that a little bit to test some of this out. So you've got to unlock that part of your psyche that already contains all the clarity, the ideas and the guidance that you've got, so that you can bring in the soul aligned clients. You're getting that money and your abundance, everything that you want to bring into your experience, you're bringing it in. Sam, you ended your live yesterday when you came to the point of selling and what you offer. Yeah. Okay, and then you deleted it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, we'll have a look at that one, and I know you're going to go back in and probably do another live again, aren't you, today? So we're moving. It's small steps, isn't it, Sam? Small steps. But that's what you want to do. All of this is inside of us, but we've got to become aligned with that, what is inside of us. We've got to become, energetically aligned, because it is already there. It's about pulling that bit out. So you've got to break those patterns of thinking and behaviour that keep you where you are. You've got to make peace with those fears and those doubts. And then you've got to use them to drive you forward to accelerate your growth. Because, being in business is many things, but in the end, it's a system designed to create and exchange value. If you are running a challenge, you've given your time, that you have given your value, you've given that for free a lot of the time. So there's got to be an exchange somewhere, because otherwise that's where the balance gets actually shifted. So Julie, you did a 3-day great challenge, but then skirted around selling the course. Hindsight was that you didn't have the course created, so no confidence on your ability to create courses in the time frame. Okay, just a couple of little tips for you on that, Julie, particularly. I always, again, remembering that you need to focus actually on the value that you're providing. So actually, if you're doing a really great challenge, people are actually getting that value from you. So when I do any of my challenges, I start introducing my program right from day one. Right from day one, I'm talking about my actual program. So actually, if people are not interested in it, they can leave if they want to. But I always over-deliver as well. I always over-deliver on everything that they offer. So they come out of my free sessions, free challenges with a huge amount of value as well, which by the sounds of it, you're doing a great challenge. So you probably did the same. So I start introducing my course early on. And there's a couple of little tips that we can do as we go through today as well to help you with that, because there's kind of a system that I use. And actually, when I first started doing my actual program, I did my challenge and I launched it. I sold it before I'd written the program. So that's the other thing that I would always suggest you do as well, is that you sell something before you write it all. Because I've worked with many women that come to me to say, I've got this fantastic, I've written out all of my modules for my program. It's a great program, and they've not gone out there and sold it. They haven't got a sales page. They haven't sold it. So that's the other tip I would also do. If you're doing a challenge, introduce your program early on, and actually sell it before you write it, because you can just have the first couple of weeks of your program and then you can actually start dripping it through to them as well as you do it. Hey Tina, lovely to see you. So the point that we're talking about here is having this value of, this exchange of value for your services, your energy, your products, because your business will function best and most efficiently when the energy is flowing through easily and freely. So, you're giving the value, and it's a fair exchange as well. And when you've got that sort of energetic alignment, that's when everything is in harmony with your goal, with exactly what you want, with your intention. In other words, when I'm doing what I want to do in the way that I want to do it. And that is absolutely key. And you'll probably find that, and again, let me know in the comments that a sign that you are not aligned is that you aren't making the money that you desire, or you're not getting the clients that you want, or you're attracting the wrong clients. You're in struggle with everything and anything. So it's actually hard work. Things feel hard work. And you aren't experiencing joy in what you're doing. Or you're letting the fear and the self-doubt control you. So let me know now, are you completely aligned with your business goals? Do you have any personal beliefs coming up, any sort of unconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs coming up that have been stopping you? Are there any energetic blocks with your business, Tina, or with your business particularly, or when you are maybe coming to selling as well, but we're relating this directly to business, with your courses, if that's what you do. This could be services, products, but it's generally your business, what you're doing in business. So let me know if there's any, if there's any area that you don't feel aligned with right now. Because the point is, when we actually place money on the services that we offer, or, when we make the offer, for instance, for our products or services, that's where stuff can come up for us. You sell courses. Okay, fine. So are you completely aligned? Are you getting the clients that you want? Are you selling quite happily? Are you making the money that you want? Or is there something that's not quite like that you want more of? Do you feel 100% aligned with it at the moment? Because what generally happens, when we're, we and this happens to everybody, when we suddenly start putting a value on it, that monetary value on it, that's where, those little voices come up in your head. Like Julie's just said, when she did a fantastic challenge, got to the point of making putting her offer in, because she's probably unconsciously thinking, I haven't written all my course yet, then she's then not aligned to selling it, and that projects out, that actually comes out. So, that's when things actually happen. So Tina, yeah, you would have said you are aligned, but you're not getting your clients, or you're not selling. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of tips with this today. That's what we're going to come out with today. So all of you are going to really up level in the selling department today, and becoming much more aligned with your product. So you did a fab challenge, but no one bought the group program that you offered. So just ask yourselves, and same with Julie as well, if she's still here, just ask yourself, what do you think it was that you weren't aligned to when it came to making the offer? What was that sort of underlying thing? Just sort of have a think about that for a moment, because we're going to start pulling that out in a minute anyway. So Annette, you don't feel aligned with the type of clients ready to commit to a high ticket program. So have you got other programs as well? Have you got other programs, or are you only offering a high ticket program? So let me know on that one. But yeah, a lot of it is when we're making jumps as well to that next level. when we're kind of maybe going from a medium product that we're offering to then going up to that higher level. That's when it can come up. Sam, so Sam, yes, put off phoning customers. You doubt on their reactions. Choose to rather message as haven't had any sales from your post. And actually, it's fine to message, because voice notes work really, really well, actually, because people are craving that connection at the moment. So if you can actually try and actually look at it in that way, Sam, that might work for you. So Tina, you're really not sure it's been bothering you. Okay, I'm going to give you some tips today to dig a bit further for you. And this is stuff this is me talking about before you've even got on the call now. So this is a process that I create. It's what I do and it's what I teach as well. And the reason why I created this was because, I had it. Blocks came up for me. Those fearful feelings, the what if I do all of this work and then nobody buys it? What if I launch this challenge and nobody buys it? And actually that happened to me. The very first challenge that I did, I realized I wasn't aligned with the price point. I felt that the price, I believed completely in the product, but I wasn't totally aligned with the price because it was my first one. And I knew that then that projected in how I then sold it. And guess what? All of my unconscious thoughts are, oh, nobody's going to buy it at that price. Well, guess what? Nobody did. And that's what happens. And that's the stuff we're going to be working on today, because that is the bit that happens when we're not aligned, we project it out. And this happens on whether you're selling a £10 product, a £1,000 product, £10,000 product. We've got to be aligned with it. So the reason why I did this is because stuff came up. I knew I'd got an amazing product, but something wasn't sitting quite right. And selling is uncomfortable for most people. We want to reframe it as well, because if things aren't going well on the outside for you, it's because of what you're thinking on the inside about it. So maybe you've got some blocks about selling as a word, and that you actually are thinking, oh, it's icky and it's horrible that I'm doing that. So you suddenly have the block up against selling particularly, rather than even just sharing your products. Life really is a mirror, and it reflects back to us what we think. All our beliefs, if, like I said, when I didn't believe in that, the price, because it was it was a coach that I was with that went, oh no, you've got to be selling a high end straight away. And that didn't sit with me. I knew it didn't sit with me. And we're going back a few years, but that was the lessons that I learned. So, it's whatever you've got going on inside, whatever your beliefs are, your outside world, what your reality is just a reflection of that. So it's a direct reflection of your decisions and your beliefs and any of your actions. So what you think and you feel, you will attract. And so if you are thinking negative things, you'll attract that negativity back. And if you're thinking positive things, you'll attract more positive things into your life. Energy doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. And we can't pretend either that the fear isn't going to be there. I talk a lot in my programs when I'm coaching about fear is a really good indicator actually of us moving in the right direction. It's taken us out of that, the comfort zone. So you can't, there's no point pretending that fear is not going to be there. We've got to bring that acceptance into it and acknowledge it that it's there and using it. And I very much believe, my beliefs are now that, fear is my accelerator, and that, it drives me. I know that for me, my big mantra, and, those that are in my coaching programs, I serve, I deserve, so I am thinking about using the things that I've got to drive me forward, because I know that what I do provides a massive value to people. It provides a massive service. So if I'm providing that, then I deserve to get it back. So sales itself shouldn't be, icky or anything like that. You need to reframe that you're providing service as opposed to I'm selling. So Tina, the program price was a lot higher than I've sold anything at before. So maybe me feeling unsure came through. It will most definitely come through. And the very first time you go to that next level, you're going to have those feelings. That's what I'm talking about. You're going to, acknowledge those feelings of fear because you're doing something for the first time, but make that differential between, am I feeling that fear because it's the first time I've done this at that price? Or is it because actually you don't feel totally aligned to it? So there is a bit of a difference in there. But yeah, when you're then scaling up to that next level, you're always going to have that something, but you've just got to watch it coming through. And like I said, we will talk about that in a moment, about how we can stop that happening, how we can stop it happening. So for me, again, focus on the value. Completely take out the numbers. So if you're sort of thinking, God, I really want 10 clients, and you get that need and that desperation, and you've got nobody signed up, but I want 10 clients. I want you to just flip that a little bit and focus on the value that you're providing rather than the numbers itself. Because, if somebody's got a problem and you are offering a solution for it and you're providing all of this value, it's the sales bit shouldn't be icky. You're not forcing anyone to buy anything that they don't want. Like I said, they've got the problem, you've got the solution. You're introducing them to the possibility of that. But if you're not in alignment, no matter how great your product, you are going to project your own insecurities and doubts out there. So when we actually start letting those, when we think to ourselves and we let those little niggly doubts start popping up that, oh gosh, I've raised my prices, nobody's going to buy it at that, or people are not going to be ready, they won't want what I've got, or they won't pay in full, or I'm not going to make the sales, then you will actually project that out. Unconsciously, it's an unconscious process, this is. Unconsciously by how you communicate, and that's what you will attract more and more of. And you can find out whether you're doing this by what you are attracting. So if you're not getting people by, if people are not committing to you, then that, you're going to get, that's the reality of what you're getting. That's telling you what your underlying beliefs are. And whilst this isn't a linear process as such. So if people are not committing to you, for instance, or not making decisions, just ask yourself, where are you not committing to or not making decisions? It doesn't have to be directly linked. So if you're kind of thinking, if somebody's not paid you on time, for instance, it's not that you've not directly paid on time, but where are you not maybe, where are you not being on time for something else? So it's not always directly linked like for like, but just look at it, the wider picture on that. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a tickle in my throat coming up there. So like I said, if somebody's not maybe committing to you or, or paying you on time, where are you not being on time? Where are you not committing? That you're reflecting that out as well. Because if you want people to invest in you and, or charging for your service, or you're putting your prices up, for instance, then take a look at yourself. Where are you not investing in you? If you want to put your prices up and take yourself to the next level, for instance, but you're not investing, say, in a coach or a mentor that can support you in taking you there, then that's not aligned. So think about those things. So what are the results that you are getting in life or in your business saying about what you potentially believe? So what are you thinking inside that you are reflecting outside, and then you're bringing that reality to you? So have a think about that. And now I'm going to go on to a couple of these practical tips for you. Let me know if any of this is resonating with you as we're going through. Okay, so the first thing, is when I did start with a script. So, that's the strategy part, if you like. Having a script for, say, a call or the sale or your offer or your products. But it's worth actually, with a script, using that as more guidance rather than just reading it as it is, because it will flow much more naturally for you there. And then the more and more you use that, you can kind of go off off script a little bit as you do that. But when I started, I did have a set script, because I felt for me, then I was able to structure that call accordingly. And I've got that in my mastermind programs. That's where I've got the actual scripts that you can use within sales calls and things like that. So that's the first thing. That is one of the first sort of thing. Now, this is the bit. So Karen, you're projecting that you are not a business. I am a support. No, that's good. That's related to a little bit of of your identity. That's maybe your identity. We need to do a bit of a shift in your identity. So maybe, Karen, you want to make a note of that and bring that to our next coaching call, because there's a great process that we do to actually shift that one around. So make a note of that, and we can kind of bring that to our next coaching call on that one. Because the identity bit there, where you're playing the hobby, or you're just you're the support bit, but you're not the CEO. That's the identity shift that we need to make with you. So make a note of that and bring it to the next coaching call. So I want you to do these exercises. These are the tasks for you to actually get much better at getting aligned with the products and services that you are offering. And the first thing is to understand you. What are your intentions? So what is your ideal outcome for the call, or for you presenting your offer, or for what you're selling? What is your ideal? Because often what we kind of say is I'll just accept anybody or whatever. And so you're suddenly starting to find that, you might be getting sales, but they're not your ideal client. They may be, they're struggling to pay they're not paying on time or something. And you're thinking, that's not my ideal client. So what I want you to first of all think about, before you present any offer, what is the outcome that you want? What is the perfect ideal outcome for you? And I want you to write this down. Write it down as, this is my dream client. This is my dream outcome. So, for me, I always go into my launches, and, it works. It's something that I do, is that, and maybe be again, because I tend to pay for my coach, for my mastermind, I pay in full, and I actually, predominantly 8 out of 10 people actually pay me in full for my programs. So, if I'm working on that, I go in with that energy. My ideal outcome is that, I get people signing up to the VIP package, or that they pay in full. So what is your ideal outcome that you want out of it? That is your first thing. Then when you've done that, I want you to actually start digging deeper. Once you've written that out, I then want you to start questioning what is actually underneath that's stopping you achieve that ideal outcome right now. So if you've decided what your perfect outcome actually is, what's stopping you achieving it now? And I want you to dig really deep on this. What is coming up? What are your beliefs? What are the prejudgments that you've got about the person? Whether you kind of go, they're better than me, they won't want to work with me, they won't have the money, the time won't fit. So put all of that down. What's all of the stuff that's now coming up when you wrote about your ideal outcome? What's the bit underneath that when you write it, you kind of go, yeah, I'd love that, but this is what's happening at the moment. So what do you believe about your potential clients? What's your experience of them? So what have you had so far? Have you had people that sign up but then they don't pay on time? So what is the real belief? What is it that you believe in about your client? That they won't be able to pay in full. They won't be able to afford you. So what is it that you say to yourself about your client's behaviour? Get it all out. Literally get it all out. What do I, whether it's that they're not going to turn up for the call, or, if they sign up, they're not going to want my product. They're going to take all my freebies, but they're not going to actually buy my paid products. What is it that then comes up? Let me know in the comments some examples of what comes up for you. What are the assumptions that you have about the call, or the offer that you're then projecting out? So let it all out. I want it, this literally needs to be, one side of the paper is your ideal outcome, and then the other side of the paper is everything that is stopping you right now. What is coming up? What are all your beliefs? What is all of your evidence that you're seeing so far? Okay, so put that all down. Let me know in the comments if what examples you've got that that has come up for you right now. So have a quick think and pop anything in the comments there. You're then going to take a deep breath in, and you are then intentionally, when you breathe out, you're going to release all of that stuff. You're literally letting it all go. Give yourself permission for letting it all come out and fall away. So Tina, you've heard people say they get excited about joining challenges, but they don't stop and see if they have time to do them. Think that happened to you? That has happened to you, as in people that did your challenge. So maybe you're actually saying that people are going to join my freebie, and they're going to take the freebie, but they're then not going to stop and stay to see what, how they can take the journey forward. So maybe that's something that's coming up for you, because all of this is just giving you the information, because awareness is the key step. Once you know it, you can then deal with it. Once you know what it is that's actually stopping you. Okay. So get it all down. Get all of that down. Okay? Because then what you're going to do, once you've kind of done your deep breath and you're letting it all, you're releasing it all, letting it all out, you're then going to turn it around. Turn it around. Because now what you're going to do is, how do I want to see them from now on? And you're going to make the decision to change it right now. So how do I want to, you've got your ideal outcome. So how do I want to see, it from now on? And make that decision, and you're going to change it. So with Tina, you're actually going to be saying, everybody that joins in your challenge is going to stay for the whole time. They're going to enjoy the journey, and they're going to be excited about seeing what's coming next. So I want you to then write down 20 reasons why you've got the best audience in the world. What do you want your star-studded customer to look like and be like? Get all of that down now. How do you want to see them from now on? What do they look like? Your star-studded customer. The person that's actually going to join your challenge, for instance, is going to stay till the end, is going to buy. You're then going to dig a bit deeper into you. Dig a bit deeper into you. And think about who you truly are. What is your role? What is your truest intention for the people working with you? And you're going to realign with your truest intention. So delve deep and say, what is your truest intention for your clients? You know, what is the value that you offer, and what difference is that going to make to a person's life? Write that down. You know, for me, and I'll talk about, say, my NLP training, for instance. So I've got a certified NLP practitioner course coming up in May and June. Now, that training, for instance, if I use that one as an example, I know the transformations that I experienced personally when I did the training. You know, so I haven't had a migraine in over 6 years. My business has gone from strength to strength. I'm making much more money now than I ever did in my senior corporate role, in my senior corporate HR director role. My health and well-being is fantastic. I've never been fitter, healthier, happier, wealthier. You know, and my passion, my deep passion, is transforming women's lives. So I know I've been through those transformations, and I want every one of the ladies that work with me to experience the transformations that I have. I want them to benefit from that. And I focus on the value that I'm then delivering. That is my true intention. I know for every single one of those ladies that come on my NLP Practitioner Course, they will experience lifelong transformation. Every single person that's attended my training courses in NLP has come out with that lifelong transformation. So I know that my deep, true intention is that they come out with that, and I tap into that. So what is your true intention? Get in touch with that one. Get in touch with that. Oh, Tina, you were in HR too. How funny. Yeah, I was in HR for over 20 years. I gave up my HR director role in 2019 to go full on into my business. So, yeah, bit of a shift there, bit of a shift. So list all of yours, list all your true intentions. Then you're going to be just asking yourself, what action do you need to take today to change how you're reflecting out and getting back your star-studded customer instead? What action can you change to change what you're sending out there? You know, I love to use an affirmation. I use it as a mantra. So I attract the perfect ideal client easily and effortlessly. They flow straight to me. So that's a really good affirmation mantra to use. The mantra is that, you know, if I've just got it on repeat, so I have it as one of my alarms that go off. I attract the perfect ideal client easily and effortlessly. They flow straight to me. And then you've got to step into that person that you want to be. You know, if you are selling a higher end program, you've upped your prices, you got to step into that person. You've got to be that person. Anchor that into the present moment. Who do I want to be when I make the call, when I present my offer? Who is it that I am? And then just another few little extras that I do before. So that's kind of all of the stuff before you've even, you know, as your preparation. Before I then do the actual call, I really tap into my energy. So I raise my energy. I get into high vibe. You know, again, in my coaching programs, we you know, I get the ladies to produce a high vibe list for them, because what works for me might not work for you. So, you know, my kind of little ritual, my routine to get me back in high vibe would be maybe to go for a run, or go for a walk and have some, listen to some really, one of my inspirational meditations, for instance. I have got Citrus Bliss from doTERRA. It's a great oil that I inhale. I do the Superwoman pose. If you're making a phone call, I always stand when I'm making the phone call, because again, that is more of a confident pose to do it. I get some fire energy in my belly. I give myself an NLP anchor. You know, all of the things. So I've got my high vibe list, if you like, that's going to raise my energy, however I'm feeling. That is my high energy list, if you like. So get yourself your customized high vibe list. You know, what is that thing that you know that the minute you do those things, it gets you into a positive, confident state? And then the last thing there is trust in you. Trust in you and what you offer. If you are completely aligned with your product and service, it comes through. So trust in yourself. Remind yourself of who you want to be and the value that you provide, and step into that person. Step into that person. Now, let me know what your biggest ahas were for today. I would love to know. And if you've got anything coming up that you need to actually be selling for, I'd love to hear all about it. Pop it in the group. And if you'd like to jump on a call with me to see how I can support you in achieving the results that you want, then I'm offering a free 30-minute clarity mapping session. I'll drop the link in the Facebook group, our Facebook group. If you would, or you can just DM me if you'd like to know how I can support you in achieving your results. Then drop me a message. And like I said, I'll be offering that free 30-minute clarity mapping session. And just to finish off, I've actually got 2 places left on my NLP Practitioner Course that is running in, it's 2 modules. It's from the 20th to the 22nd of May and the 5th to the 7th of June. I've got 2 places left. We're starting the home study next week. Well, actually it started this week, but you know, I'm kind of finalising all of the details. So I've got 2 places left, and I've got a £300 discount if you book today. So I'll pop that link in as well. Or again, you can just DM me if you'd just like some more information on that. Hope you've enjoyed today's session. Do let me know if you're catching up on replay. Do put a hashtag replay so I know that you're watching and I can answer any questions that you've got. But do let me know what your biggest takeaways were of the session today, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.